everybody, and welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 7, episode 32, episode number 302. How's it going?
It goes.
It's good. I feel like I need to point out that it's March.
It is March.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. 3223.
Oh.
Which, we posted an episode on 2323 and we never actually acknowledged that. So,
shit.
Acknowledging it now.
Didn't somebody post in the Facebook group that this year, the last day of the year is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, it was Mandy, I believe.
Yeah. I know, right? It's pretty cool.
I'm excited, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not that into numbers things, and I think it's cool. So, it's like big time numbers thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This episode is a little bit different if you're hearing this because for some reason my Garageband has died. So we're recording straight to YouTube and we're recording on a Thursday night. So you're going to get a raw, unedited, unfiltered broadcast because Mama's going to South Carolina tomorrow and I don't have time to sit there and edit in the morning.
So lucky you, dear listener.
Lucky you. You're going to hear the bloopers live.
We're doing it live.
Which, speaking of, I guess now my bracelet is making a noise as it hits the desk, so I will take that off and I will try to not move in my chair. All the little annoying things that I try to edit out. There we go. Anyway, how is it going, Shandy? Happy birthday again. How was your trip to Montana?
Thank you very much. It was very good. We had a great time, grand old time. The festival was super fun. I just 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. And it's so cool because we had the all access passes. There is literally a party every single day, with food. And in the morning, you can get free coffee and pastries. And we didn't even take advantage of all the stuff because it's just it's a lot. I was saying it would be fun sometime to do that festival. When I don't know if I'm living there maybe. So that I'm not also simultaneously trying to see people and just concentrate solely on that. But I think we did a good mix of hanging out with friends and seeing movies. There were a lot of times where I was like, what's more important? Seeing people or seeing movies? Obviously seeing people, but also the movies.
But you do have to pause and think about it for just a second.
How can I do both?
Oh man. So what were the best films you saw?
Well, I really liked this one that was called Crows Are White. It was really, really good. It's about this guy who's from the Middle East, but grows up in Ireland and then moves to the US. And he is he goes to Japan to talk to these monks in this really strict monastery. It's pretty intense, the things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think that it's going to be about that because the preview also talks about how the monk that he ends up befriending really likes heavy metal. So, I was expecting it to be about that sort of struggle, but then it becomes much more about him. And it's also that he comes from a very Muslim family. And he's going to marry someone who is not Muslim. And it's a sort of big, huge deal. And he hasn't told his parents. And anyway, so it's multiple people. It's just sort of navigating that space between your faith and, 2023, traditions and the world. And it was really good. And hilarious.
I love a movie that you think it's about one thing and then it ends up being so much more.
Yeah, totally. And it was just really, really well done too. I really liked it. Frank kept saying, I had no idea monks were so funny. And I was like, the Dalai Lama is really well known for his sense of humor and just how much he laughs. So I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Best laugh in the planet.
Yeah,
I defy anyone to find a heartier, more the soul-brightening laugh than the Dalai Lama's laugh. It is the best laugh on the planet.
Yeah. So that was really great. There was also a really good one about the Florida panther. So for our Florida listeners, I kind of didn't even realize there were still like panthers in Florida, mountain lions, what have you, what you will. But there are, and their habitat is like, being swiftly taken away. But it was actually a hopeful movie, and their population is actually growing. So it was really cool. It's funny too because last year one of our favorite movies was also this movie about mountain lions, like in Montana, and they had some just amazing footage. So and this year there was this panther movie. It's like I'm all here for the animal movies.
The big cats.
Yes, especially if they're
it's
cats.
A cat movie I could get behind.
Yeah. There were also some really great shorts. I saw I would say many more shorts blocks this time than I did actual feature length movies, and I found that to be super fun. I'm trying to think back to some of my favorites. There was this one called Chicken Stories that followed around these hipsters in California who had a bunch of chickens and just figuring out how to raise them and then how to get the eggs, and it was really fun. I'm looking through the program to remember because again it was just so many movies in a very short amount of time. But yeah, nice. There's a lot of good ones. It was really fun, and again we got to meet some of the filmmakers. There was this, so we met the first night, at opening night we met the person and the subject of this movie called #MoCrazyStrong. And that short is really great. I don't know if you can see it online, but it's about this woman who was so she was there. That was really cool. She was a professional skier for freestyle skiing, I want to say. And she had a traumatic brain injury.
Oh my God.
And it goes through her process of recovery, and just her family kind of did the opposite of what the doctors were telling them to do. I guess they were saying not to really talk to her very much because of the state of her brain when she was in the coma and stuff. But instead they did talk to her and had a lot of physical contact, and she thinks that it really helped. So anyway, she does work now with traumatic brain injuries and stuff, but it was also just really well done.
Wow. Okay. What was that called again?
#MoCrazyStrong, MoCrazy strong. Yeah. Oh, also the 50. Oh, that was really good. It was that was a feature length documentary about this group of 50 inmates who were selected for this program where they basically teach them in the prison to become substance abuse counselors.
Wow.
But in order to do that, in parallel, they're basically required to do this program where they have to dive deeply into their own pasts and sort of understand, it's just basically it comes down to many of the people in prison just had a lot of fucking childhood trauma.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Wow.
And anyway, so then they become this group of counselors, and the program is still going on. It's based in California, but I think it's been done in other prisons as well. And it was just amazing. And 2 of the graduates of that program were there for the Q&A. That was really cool. And they're just doing great stuff, and they're out. And the rate of recidivism is 1% for people who go through the program.
Wow.
Which is usually it's 50%, I think. So pretty remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good stuff. Yeah. Highly recommended. It was really fun though too, because so last year I think we mostly did movies, and this year I think we did a little bit more of a balance between again friends and movies. And one of the days, Monday, we took the day completely off. So we hit the festival pretty hard that first weekend, and then on Monday, we went to a hot springs with some friends, and that. I think that was perfect to just have a day where we do something else that I love in Montana, because there's so much thermal activity. I was telling my cousin I didn't realize until well after I moved to Montana moved to California from Montana that not everywhere has just like a lot of hot springs. It's like, oh yeah, because it's like where Yellowstone, there's like thermal activity going on. So it's just like a feature of the state, but in other places that's not the case to the same extent.
Or to any extent. I have been to one hot spring in my entire life in Costa Rica.
Oh shit.
I've
It's
been
the
to
only
0.
one I've ever been to.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, there is one, from what I can tell, in California in a town called Hot Springs, which is funny because the place that I went to was also a town called Hot Springs. It's a place I've gone many times before, but we went to a different hot springs than the one I usually go to, where apparently somebody got murdered in like 2013, but that's a whole other story.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's one in North Carolina. It's like closer to the mountains. So
Wow.
road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be into it. Again, only done it once. We'll try again.
Always good.
I will try for the first time.
Oh, always good. But the key is, and we just went for the day. I think my favorite thing at Hot Springs is to like stay overnight.
Okay.
Because then you can, there's only so long that you can like
Soak
be
it
in the, yeah. So you can soak for a while, then go do something else, then come back, and then, yeah. And you don't feel like you have to stay there for hours because, like, there comes a point where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There comes a point where you're like, enough is enough.
Yes.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. But it was really fun. It was good. And then we came back on Monday, and Colleen was nice enough to let us park our car at her house, and she came and picked us up. It's just like so nice. But also our bag was like 4 hours behind us.
Oh,
so
geez.
yeah, it went through Atlanta, but we did not. So riddle me that. And we decided just to stay, just to make sure that we would get it. But it actually turned out to be, pretty fun because we then all just went out to dinner together. So yeah, it was like a impromptu friend trip.
It was.
Friend hangout. Yes.
It was very impromptu, but that's always fun. Very glad I got to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. How was your week, Amanda?
How was my week? I went to see was it Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes. Did you like it?
Yes. I'm late to the party, I know, but big thumbs up. Really, really loved it.
I still need to see it, so you're not the latest to this party.
But it was very good. I think going into it not really knowing what the movie is about adds to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it ended up being so much. I knew it was going to be good because it's been getting all those Oscar buzz and even before that, but like it was just so much more than I thought it was going to be. And I just really, really, really loved it. Yeah. And I went to a movie theater.
Nice.
Yay.
Got myself a drink and some popcorn and I really did it. And I'm so glad I did. I really, really enjoyed it. Other big thing, we drove to Connecticut on Saturday in the bad weather.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. So yeah, our 2-hour trip became more like a 3.5-hour trip. We had some vomit.
Oh.
Which is not a thing that ever has happened for us in the past.
Oh no.
So
baby vomit?
Baby vomit.
Okay.
And not spit up, vomit.
Aww.
Which is she's not count my blessings. She is not prone to throwing up. This might be the only time she has thrown up as a toddler. And thankfully the traffic was so bad on the highway. We were already off the highway on the back roads because that's what Google told us was going to be faster.
Yeah.
So I think that was also part of maybe what did it. She's been very into crackers lately, and I think she just ate one too many crackers in the park and the start and stop.
Oh no.
And then she was crying, and we're just oh, because she's in traffic. She doesn't like to be in traffic. And then all of a sudden you hear this weird sound, and you're like, oh God, oh no, oh, the cute outfit for the party we're going to.
Oh no.
And thankfully we were already at a light. There was a Popeyes across the light, so we just pulled into the parking lot.
Oh no.
Got her out of the car. We, divided and conquered. Daniel cleaned out the car seat. I took her into the Popeyes and was like, "Can I just use your bathroom to clean up my shit?" And like
Aw.
poor little thing was like so startled because she's never really thrown up before. Like I don't even think she knew what was happening. So I
Well,
think she was
yeah.
just like really scared, and like bathrooms and like fast food places, like the heat's not
Yeah.
working. So
Yeah.
like I'm stripping her down and she's like just shivering because she's like
Oh,
cold and
no.
confused.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
throwing up is like one of the weirdest things
It's
in the
awful. It's
world.
really
So,
terrible.
yeah. I can
But yeah.
imagine the first time you do it being like, what the fuck just happened?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was real bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The cute outfit.
Oh,
So
no.
it was like we were going to a family get together with some of my cousins that we haven't really seen all that much because pandemic. And we were like 2 hours late, and by the time we walked in, it's like the event was like half over. Everyone had already eaten. Like we were supposed to get there like before everybody else so that she could like get settled, and it was just like a whole thing. But
Oh.
it ultimately ended up being fine. But it was really, it was an adventure unlike any car trip we have ever had, and I hope we don't repeat anytime soon.
Yes, I understand.
Oh.
I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was a one-off.
Yeah. And we had a backup outfit. So,
Yeah.
There
we
you
still
go.
packed 3 outfits for an overnight. So we were fine.
Yeah, there you go. You knew.
And we
You
were
knew.
going to my parents' house. So we just did laundry and everything was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pulled all the car seat bits out. We washed everything and it was all right as rain by,
Nice.
we hit the road the next day.
Nice. Very nice.
Hopefully the return trip didn't take as long.
No, of course, because we had nowhere to be but home. So it's like we whizzed home in record time. Just the law of averages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, that's awesome. I don't know. I've had a shitload of stuff go down since we last recorded, which I don't need to get into right now. We had Alex's birthday party, family
Yeah.
and then friends, so that was nice. I received the following message from Zachary's teacher yesterday.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Okay. This is from his teacher. Mrs. H came to see me today because Zach was playing around during her class. They were working on vocabulary, and Zach's contribution was writing, "Your mama."
Writing it where?
Now, to be fair to Zachary, she sent the picture of the "Yo mama." Those things. And Shandy, having spent time with Zachary on Tuesday, is aware now that he is into all of those types of jokes. It was they I guess there was a circle, and it was City Big Apple, and then there are little lines like this. You're drawing a sun, and there's little like sub things from there where they had to write a vocabulary word, and then like chain words from there. And he wrote "Your mama," which, to be fair to him, his mama could technically be a chain word from the Big Apple.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, arguably.
But he should have wrote "my mom," not "your mama."
Yeah. Or maybe he was just, some terrible stereotype of like old timey cab drivers in New York City.
I can understand why that didn't really fit the assignment, but at the same time,
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty
funny, and it's not like vulgar.
Yeah.
Right?
There's so many more worse things he could have written. Pretty tame if you really think big picture.
Yes. Like this note that I got from Alex's teacher.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Alex and a friend were playing on the tire swing. The friend asked him to get off. He was upset, so he pinched her on the arm.
Oh dear.
Yesterday was a banner day in the Gladfelter house.
Oh dear.
no.
Oh dear. Full moon, huh?
Oh my God. So anyway, yeah, we're in full chaos mode here, just full on chaos all the time. Speaking of chaos and coming of age, next week on March 14th. Oh, that's in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks on March 14th, we will be recording talking about Now and Then and Stand By Me.
Spoiler alert, I've already watched both of them. I'm very proud of myself. Very excited to talk about them.
Good, go you.
Good. I have watched 0 so far. It's too far out for me. I won't remember.
Well, the thing
I
was
know, I
on
haven't
the on the plane back, I noticed that they had Stand By Me, and so
Mm.
I was just thinking like this would be a really dumb opportunity to miss.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I watched that, and then afterwards it was like, well, now I kind of got to follow it up with Now and Then. So didn't have it on the plane, but I
Yeah.
found it when I got home.
And there's
Yeah.
something to be said, I think, of watching them in close succession, because I feel like you can like pick up on shared things a little
Yes.
better than if you watch them like far apart.
Although they were filmed like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
9 maybe, but yeah, didn't realize that.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this. I also probably won't watch it until next week. Next week, March 7th, we'll be recording live for the patrons.
Thank you for reminding.
You are welcome. We'll also do a bonus show beforehand. So we'll start for the patrons at 9, and then we'll do our thing at 8:30 beforehand. And we will be ready to rock and roll. So remember, I won't even start that. So we recently talked about eventually doing a topical show with the First Wives Club. May I also suggest we do a maybe 90s legal thing, and we do like 12 Angry Men. Not 12 Angry Men. I'm sorry. Runaway Jury and My Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
Is that 90s?
My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah. When did that come out?
I'm pretty sure it was like 92 because she won the Oscar for it.
Oh.
Hold on.
I feel like 90.
1992.
Yeah, I feel like early 90s, like 90, 91, 92 kind of just feels like,
Yeah.
The 80s.
yeah, basically. But I suppose that's arguably like 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Mention
90s
of that, yeah.
epilogue.
Yes, I like that.
Runaway Jury was 2003, so that wouldn't count. But I also, at some point, I do want to do My Cousin Vinny First Wives Club. I was thinking of like maybe we just do like a 90s choice.
I'm good with that.
90s music movie. And I would pick 2, My Cousin Vinny and First Wives Club. Maybe Amanda could pick First Wives Club and I could pick My Cousin Vinny. Or but the theme is 90s movies we'd write papers on. I don't know.
I'm sure there are 90s movies I have written papers.
I know.
on.
I was just
My Cousin
thinking.
Vinny.
I was a comm major.
I 100% wrote a paper on My Cousin Vinny twice.
Nice.
At Marist
Hey.
and when I did my Fair Legal thing.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, I got an A from C plus Sue for my paper on Alias.
Oh yeah.
C plus Sue. Eh?
C plus Sue. She was a very hard professor. I put that paper on the fridge in our house. I was very proud of myself.
As you should be.
I worked very hard on it.
As you should. Anyway, I was just thinking, like, while I was editing last week, I was like, oh, man, all these movies that I just really want an excuse to watch and talk about. Pelican Brief. You guys have seen Pelican Brief?
No,
Never
sure
even
haven't.
heard of it.
Sure haven't.
Oh, man, it's so good. But if we did that, we'd have to do, like, Enemy of the State or something. Because they're kind of, like, in the same vein where, like, the government's chasing you for, like, trying to, like, unveil, like, some big corporate scandal. Spoiler. Anyway. Yeah.
This is like solidly getting into
Ron
things I've
DeSantis
never
territory.
seen.
I mean, you gotta learn to laugh about it.
Yeah. Suppose so.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, just things to keep in the back of your mind. It's better now. Shandy saw it in person. I donated platelets last Friday, and my arms look like they were tore up. It was bad.
I feel like you are not the first person I know who has donated platelets, and that has happened to them as well.
Well,
I
because you're
think-
sitting there for 2 to 3 hours
a long
with
time.
2 arms, squeezing the whole time.
Yeah,
like
I
the
think it's just
thing.
the way they. Yeah, it's just
It
makes
was.
everybody look like bad fruit, like dropped
Oh, yeah.
fruit.
I did look like a rotten banana. You are correct.
Yeah.
But I watched this. They're like, here's some Netflix. Pick something because you're going to be sitting here for 2.5 hours. And I picked this terrible show. I feel like Jack has warned me about this show, but I'm not sure. It's called Outer Banks. I watched the first season. I got through the first 2.5 episodes. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I feel like donating platelets would have been a better experience if I'd been watching a show that actually was good instead of like wishing I could change the channel, but not being able to move.
Oh.
Couldn't you just holler and ask someone to change the channel?
No, I didn't want to be
Help!
annoying because they were
Help!
busy. But like, something to that show's credit, I was very like, oh my God, this is terrible. But I've come home in the last week and watched 2 more episodes. So.
It wasn't that terrible. It was like good terrible. Like picking a scab terrible.
I don't know. I was hoping it was going to be good terrible, but it wasn't good terrible. But now, like on episode 5, it's kind of gotten to be good terrible. Or like he's moving in with his spoiler, but not really. He's moving in with his love interest family. So I'm like, ooh, we gonna get some WB Netflix sex here for 16-year-olds. So that's gross. But like, I was like, I think it's gonna be on. It's not very good. There's a reason why I've only watched 2 more in the last week and not like the whole first season. If anybody out there has seen it though, please send us an email, tweet at us, do something. Let me know. Facebook, like, does it get better? Is it worth watching it? Or should I just, not go back? Anyway, okay. So speaking of all that, I have a real quick thing for the middle section of this show, which I think I actually might have just closed out. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay. So prepare to feel slightly depressed.
Oh dear.
So the preface for this is Jay. Last week I went on a little hike with some friends, and Jay took the boys to an antique show downtown Raleigh. I'm like, oh, fun, find some stuff. Well, they came back with it's better if you see it in person. Shandy has seen it in person. They came back with a bunch of jewelry. I will send this text to you both.
Okay. Whew.
Why, you think there was something else? I'm gonna text.
I didn't know what you were going to talk about, and you said prepare to be depressed. So I was like, fuck.
It is depressing.
It is, but it's not like the level of depressing that I was, preparing myself for.
Anyway, I sent a text.
Let me see here now.
If you'd like to describe the items in the text message, feel free. I'm like, this is great because I'm not editing. There's scratching going on upstairs. Let me just fill the void here. I was going to wear the earrings tonight, but I forgot.
They are very Colleen.
They are very Colleen. So
your family knows you well.
They do know me well. So what we are looking at is a set of neon bracelets, ginormous star earrings, pink plastic star earrings, and
they're like hoops. They're like hoops shaped like a star. They're not like studs.
I'll run up and put them on after our break.
Okay, please.
Or during the break. And then a neon scrunchie. And essentially, this antique show featured shit from the 80s because the 80s were almost 40 years ago.
It was a vintage clothing show, not an antique show.
Vintage!
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
They're like getting old clothes from the 80s.
That's not old!
Well,
you are old. Deal with
I mean, you literally just said that was almost 40 years ago. That's like an anniversary length of time.
That's true. My parents are celebrating their 40th anniversary this year, and my sister texted me about how we need to put together a party for them. And I'm like, oh, I'm too young to put together a party for my parents' 40th anniversary. And then I was like, oh shit, that's right. I was born 7 months after their wedding, so I guess I'm not too old to put
But case in point, I remember my grandparents' 50th anniversary, and that, That's
I
only 10
remember
years
mine.
removed, and like that felt like, oh, like they're so old. They've been married. I will say though, something that we talked about with some of my friends in Montana, because this question came up because we are like around the corner from 40. Somebody mentioned, and everyone sort of had a similar memory of like when our parents turned 40 and the
Yeah.
kinds of birthday parties that they had. And it was very much like, Lordy, look who's 40. Oh, ha, ha, ha,
Yes.
you're over the hill. And it's like, thankfully, it's changed. Like, that is not the vibe that, it was
Yeah.
like, oh, you're 40. Here's your tombstone cake.
Better to be over the hill than under it.
Exactly.
That was my favorite 40 joke. My uncle had a T-shirt that said that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember when 30 was over the hill?
No.
I actually
My
don't.
parents threw an
No.
over the hill party for my uncle when he turned 30.
That's
and I
obscene.
remember that.
That is premature.
That is
I
obscene.
thought so as well.
But I will say
Yeah.
I'm thankful that the general vibe now isn't of us just like making fun of each other for being 40, and also 40 is not really considered over the hill.
It's
like not even
vintage.
Well, okay, they're vintage, but also 40 is the new 30. So
It's true. Actually,
okay.
Daniel's mother was saying she had read an article recently where it was saying how like 5-year-olds now there's like a 50% chance that a 5-year-old now will live to be 100.
Wow.
And they will work by choice until they're 80. So like for them,
Who
like
would make
80
that?
will be the new 60.
No.
Wow. So 40 is like a spring
Right.
fucking chicken.
Right. But it's like, if you think about it, like it does kind of logically make sense. Cause even like, like
Yeah.
just anecdotally, like just us talking, that like 40 for our parents looked very different from what
Yes,
40
that's
is looking like for us. And maybe it's just because we are here now. And like I don't feel old.
No,
know?
I don't either.
I don't
But
think
like,
I'm gonna feel old in a year.
think of how much
Yeah.
society has changed since we started this show 7 years ago. We went
Oh
from
my
fucking
God.
Cougars to vintage.
In the eye of the beholder.
I am
Vintage
truly
is
whatever.
vintage when it comes to clothing is cool. So don't.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm still saying let's just bring back the early 90s. Get me some flannel and
Mhm.
layers and comfy clothes. Let's
I've
do
been wearing
that.
flannel from Costco all season.
Yeah, basically that is what I wear now. I'm wearing like
Sweet.
a thermal shirt right now,
I need to get on that.
and I basically just wear sweatpants all the time now.
Yeah,
Because I don't
Perfect.
go to work anymore.
I've gone back to yoga pants, but same vibe.
Yeah.
Um,
I have 2 pairs of sweatpants that I alternate,
Nice.
and I have to think about like, oh, when have I worn this shirt yet this week? What does my meeting schedule look like? Have people seen me in the shirt this week?
But here's the thing, they won't remember.
That's true. But that's why I've gone to just wearing a lot like simple, just solid color shirts, because it's they won't. It's just
Yeah.
wallpaper.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to remember that
No.
I also wore the same black shirt
No.
on Monday too.
Yep.
It's like, oh, she's
They're
wearing a black shirt
they're
again.
worrying about what they're wearing.
That's true.
While simultaneously nobody is noticing their clothes. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. It's like I have coworkers like, oh, I'm not going to turn my camera on today because I'm not wearing makeup. And it's like, oh, girl, I haven't worn makeup and I put mascara on, and that's about the extent of it.
Mhm.
That is the good thing about the Zoom, is people really can't tell.
They can't tell.
No,
They
they
can't tell.
can't. Yeah.
But the reason that like this is particularly has triggered me is last week American Girl released its new historical
I
dolls.
saw that. Saw it.
And what year is this historical doll set in?
It's like 98 or something, like
1999.
yeah, like something ridiculous.
Okay, that's not historical. See, the rule about historical is 50 years. That's not historical. I take issue.
Or
with
40, apparently.
But was it? Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, I'm thinking like our American Girl dolls and like the youngest one. The youngest one. That's not right.
It was
But, like-
Felicity was the oldest one, right? And the
Like
youngest one was-
historically was Molly, which was like
Molly.
World War II, which would have been
Exactly. Molly was the redhead with the glasses in World War II, or am I thinking of Mallory from the baby?
like, no, she had brown hair, but she did have glasses. You were right.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't have American Girl dolls.
Oh, it was the only like extravagant, like expensive toy they had. It was that. And then we would go to thrift stores to get the accessories and stuff for them.
I had the build your own one, which
A Build-A-Girl?
yeah, because they had the, like, you
Yeah.
could pick your own.
Yep.
And I remember we talked about a couple weeks ago how the green contacts didn't work out for me. So I supplemented with my American Girl doll having my color hair but green eyes.
Nice.
And I forget what I named her. What did I name her? Oh, it was gonna bother me. It was like Elizabeth or something. Elizabeth has long been my favorite name. I will remember it, and I will probably do that thing where I shout it out. But yeah, that's the one I had. I don't know. And the modern ones, you could also just get the clothes from anywhere. But I'm pretty sure that I was boring and just kept her the clothes that she came in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Loved my American Girl dolls.
Yeah, I did too. I wonder where mine are. I'm
They're in
sure
my
my
parents'
niece
basement.
Evangeline. Yeah, my niece Evangeline is probably having a blast playing with them all now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
wait till
so
Eden's old enough. Well, she's totally not going to be into dolls, and that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Then I'll, donate to them for some other
there you go.
lovely girl
She
to
may
enjoy.
surprise you,
Exactly.
or you may have a niece or a nephew that is into them.
That's true. That's true.
So, but anyway, so these they're twins growing up in 1999.
Because that's also a very 1999 thing to be a twin.
Twins.
Feel like, Sweet Valley High, like all the cool pop culture things were twins.
Even the Babysitters Club had Abby and what's her name? Abby and Anna.
And they were probably white blonde girls.
They were white brunette girls, but yes.
Yeah.
They were
Maybe just
filling a
because
brunette quota.
maybe because I have twin brothers that never registered to me because I didn't realize it was like a thing. Because it also just feels normal to have twins around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if that's if they're
I
in the
feel
family.
like twins are more and more people like in the late Gen X and our millennials, I feel like, have twins just from, better fertility treatments available to women our age.
Oh, well, there's definitely that. But
yeah, it became less more of a like just genetic thing to like,
Yeah. Which, I mean, no
More-
shame in that, but
right, exactly. But
Yeah.
it's like they became more prevalent, I guess, would be.
exactly. Or I don't know. Or maybe I just became of the age where I noticed people having babies more. I don't know.
Maybe. Or there's that too. Who's
Yeah.
to say?
Truly
We're not
anything.
doctors.
Anyway,
We're
okay.
not scientists.
We're none of the above. Unqualified to talk about any statistics. We don't even have like a Breitbart chart pulled up. Like we can't even like
we are
pull
straight
like,
up winging
bad
this.
statistics. Anyway, so these new American Girl dolls, they're twins. They're Isabel and Nikki Hoffman. They're from Seattle. One is grunge. I believe one is, very, clueless-y.
interesting.
Very like Britney Spears.
Yes.
Mm.
I believe that she actually, I'm trying to scroll for the picture, but I guess it's not in this particular article. But I believe one of them is wearing the Cher Clueless, like plaid pink outfit.
Oh my gosh. Do they come with an NSYNC poster?
If they
Does
don't,
it come with like a Teen Beat magazine?
let's see. A full line of the dolls' descriptions goes into explaining the zines that are like homemade magazines. So maybe they do.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's also very like Seattle thing.
Yeah.
Zines.
Yes. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about this. Let's see. Who do we know that listens to this show that has young girls? Kate?
Yes.
Is Shamandaline into dolls yet? Mandy, are your girls too old for them? What's going on here? What are the thoughts? Anybody else? Do you guys feel old? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wild about calling them historic, but
Yeah.
other than that, the concept is fun. But yeah, again, 50 years. Come on.
Yeah. That the 90s are like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. How long ago was the 90s? It was like 10 years ago, right? It's just the 90s are always going to be 10 years ago.
Right.
10 plus 13 at this 23. 10 plus 23 at this point.
So, as I said, 10 years ago.
Yeah, one is like tomboy grunge. The other one is like Clueless. And I can't tell for sure, but it looks like one of them might have a slam book and the other one definitely has some kind of American Girl teen beat kind of thing. So there's that. Anyway, on that very depressing note, this has truly been weighing on my mind. I feel like after we're done with this conversation, I'm going to feel a weight slightly lifted that I've shared this burden with everybody else. Anyway, any last comments about being vintage or historical?
In the eye of the beholder.
All right. I'm gonna have to really go through some mantras and behold a new truth. Anyway, on that note, let's take a quick break. However, before we move on, we need to wish a very happy 200th birthday to the Rumblecast After Dark, who are live tonight, celebrating their 200th episode.
They don't look a day over 100.
Yeah, they are vintage, though, by definition. By definition, the Ramblecast After Dark is now a vintage show. We, I think, are fully antique, but they are still historical. Anyway, on that note, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get into some feedback. All right, we're back. We're ready to get into some feedback. Again, happy 200th to the Ramblecast After Dark. You only have 100 more to go to catch up with us. Respect your elders. That is us. We are the Cougars in this situation.
Yes, true story.
All right. To start off with some feedback, we've got one from Jessica back on the great haircut debate of 2023. For me, when I get a haircut, I don't wash it for a day or two. Whenever I get my hair done, my stylist loves to curl my hair. And when she does it, it stays. When I curl my hair, I can't get it to stay, so it's a nice treat. Agreed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dennis says the only disappointment I have is that as soon as they pointed out their I'm sorry, this is spoiler about Wednesday.
Oh, I took out spoiler. Sorry, that's my bad. And I took it out because I was like, well, we've already talked about it, so
if you didn't listen before,
if you didn't listen, yeah. Forgot about those people that didn't listen. Whoops.
What? Not everyone listens? What? Not everyone has seen it? I mean, where are you? It's all over the internet.
Like, hello.
It's like the biggest pop culture thing in a while.
All right. Dennis says, the only disappointment I had with Wednesday is as soon as they pointed out there was only one normie teacher at the school, I immediately put her at the top of my suspicious list. And when we found out there were two villains, the only normie kid involved seemed the obvious choice. That's very astute of you, Dennis.
That is very astute, Dennis.
Which is why, like, I sort of went like reverse psychology. That it was like, no, that it's too early. Like, this is a red herring. And then you kind of forgot about her.
Fair enough. And then Dennis says, and chalk me up as a meh on Community as I don't understand you people who don't like Community.
It's so boring. Oh my God.
It's not.
Ugh.
I need to go back again. I feel like I never finished it.
Because why would you?
Well, it was more just like a situational of the time. It's like the time that we were like in life. It was hard to like stick with like a serialized television show, like before the era of like binge watching. It was hard to like be home at the same time every week to watch a show, so you just kind of ended up stop watching it.
I don't know. Like, think of how much of an impact Community has had on. No, see, you guys haven't watched it because Shandy thought it was boring and didn't finish it, and Dennis agreed with her. So, okay, 3 out of I don't know how many people listening right now aren't going to get this. However, let me just say, Community has had a huge, like, a very big impact on the culture, similar to Arrested Development, if not more so. Because
I would agree with that. I would agree with that statement.
The worst timeline. The worst timeline comes from Community. It was literally a whole episode. I don't want to spoil you, but it's fantastic.
No, I think I did see that one. That one was good.
The whole multiverse stuff, or the floor is lava. They have a whole episode about the floor being lava, and now there's a fucking TV show that my kids love to watch and play about the floor being lava. I'm just...
Maybe I just needed to watch it then at the time, because removed, it's just like kind of a slog.
I am disappointed to hear that, young lady.
I mean, again, maybe this is the worst timeline that I didn't watch it when it came out, and had I watched it when it came out, I would think completely differently of it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll cherry pick some very funny episodes for you. No, I don't even know, because you might not like them. But, like, I don't know.
We don't have to all like the same things.
Yeah. Or even Donde está la biblioteca? You ever heard somebody say that? And that's from Community. I'm just saying. Okay.
I have not heard anyone say that before just now.
Well, I've heard Jay say it, so.
Isn't that also, don't they also say that in Hocus Pocus?
I don't know.
When she comes out of the
No, they're speaking French.
You're right, they are speaking French. You're right. But it is something about a book in the library.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
I will continue. Okay. And then Maggie had shared a meme. They kind of went there, and it shows Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia. And it says, and then he ran into my sword. He ran into my sword 10 times.
Although it's, he run into my sword. I don't know if that's intentionally poor grammar.
I think it was probably generated by like some kind of chat GTI bot.
It's not like a real. You never know what these kids are saying nowadays. I can't keep up with the slang.
Anyway, I always appreciate a good Catherine Zeta-Jones Chicago joke.
Yeah.
I also always appreciate a good Cellblock Tango joke. Always, hands down. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, Matt had something. I forgot to put this into my Wednesday feedback, but did Fred Armisen's Fester remind anybody of Gonzo? It kind of did. He reminded me of a Muppet in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I think now that, like, Matt, you say that, then it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess I see that. But I don't think I did when I was, like, watching just me, myself.
Like, I always thought he had like a, kind of like a Muppety cartoony voice, but yeah, I guess it's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Or a good comparison, rather.
Yes. They share a lot of personality traits.
And vocal tones.
And again, inflection.
Inflections. All right, moving along. We actually have a voicemail from John in Houston. Here we go.
Hey, Broads, this is John in Houston. Over the weekend, I had an opportunity to see a stage play called Roe, R-O-E, written by Lisa Loomer and directed by Kim McKean. It was a 3-hour play about Roe versus Wade, and it was incredible. It blew my mind. I laughed, I cried, I screamed, and I got mad. It's my understanding that this play is playing in several cities right now using different companies. If you get a chance to see it, this one is absolutely positively worth any time you spend doing it. I've always been a pro-choice person, but this just cemented all my beliefs. Please take a chance to look into it. It's incredible. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, John. We will absolutely look into this.
Awesome recommendation.
Yeah, really great recommendation.
Let me look right now to see where else it is playing. I'm looking as quickly as I could. Let's see. What's the right search term here? Not schedule. Show dates?
I just did row stage play to see if they've got.
Well, looked up row Lisa Loomer, which she's taking that Loomer last name back from Laura. Fuck you, Laura Loomer.
I don't know.
Eat shit. Let's see. Looks like it's playing UNC Georgia. No, that's not Georgia. UNCG Greensboro. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It looks like it is playing in UNC Greensboro on March 24th and March 24th, 25th, 26th, April 2nd, March. Yeah, okay. So March 24th to April 2nd, select days. Directed by TA. So I don't know what that means. But that is in Greensboro, North Carolina. So
nice.
Yeah. Awesome good times. I wonder if this is going to be like the new Vagina Monologues.
I wonder.
You know, like they lease it out. Because it looks like it was playing in the University of Connecticut March 2nd through March 11th. So today through March 11th.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like there's been productions on and off since like 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was at Meredith College where I took my paralegal classes back in September. So, okay. We will have to like be on the lookout for this. This definitely reminds me of something that might be kind of like, you know, Vagina Monologue-y. So, well, cool. Thank you, John, for the heads up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right. Well, I went very out of order. Let's do the Matt's What She Said, and then we can finish with a Matt-splaining email.
Sounds good.
Oh, you know what? Let's do the Matt-splaining email, and then let's finish with the Matt's What She Said. Let's just switch it up because we're going to keep it fresh because we're not vintage. We're fresh.
All right. Matt writes in some Matt-splaining. Hey, Broads, a little bit of Matt-splaining. Well, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina did end on a bummer note. There was an epilogue on Riverdale last year. I could easily rattle on about how insane that show is, but I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. Last season, they decided, fuck it, magic is real.
Here for it.
Introducing, among other things, a parallel universe called Rivervale, and having Kiernan Shipka reprise her Sabrina role. Oh, that's that actress's name, huh? Basically, she had come back from the dead, having discovered necromancy. Nick isn't as lucky, but he does possess Jughead for a while making the female cast members witches and attempt to bring several cast members back from the dead. See earlier, this show is insane. Interesting. As for what Poochie is, you are right, it is a Simpsons reference. Poochie is a new character added to the show within a show, Itchy and Scratchy. It backfires. The character is a cynical mishmash of 90s pandering and, worst of all, keeps the title cat and mouse from reaching the fireworks factory. Video from YouTube inserted here. Since this is The Simpsons, Homer is hired as Poochie and is hurt by the negative reaction. While recording his lines, he tries to make an earnest plea for a second chance to the fans. This is what airs. Link to a second YouTube video. Also, sorry to have been the one to tell you about the actual monster on Wednesday, even though you wanted to know it, Matt.
You guys remember what he's referring to? The actor with the touchy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Real bummer there.
Real fucking bummer.
No. Can't have nice things.
No nice things.
None.
Well, thank you, Matt, for the Matt-splaining. And we're going to finish this show on a happier Matt note. And that would be the Matt's What She Said.
Oh my gosh, it keeps going.
I need to get on that.
That was not as long as I was imagining.
They gradually get bigger as you make your way.
I noticed that Casper was in it.
Is it all out?
They do both.
Urge your hand to stop halfway through every day.
I work them good.
My knees are never going to feel the same way again.
I was set. We were going to do it.
How did that happen twice?
We get to extend the good time.
It feels good to start this at the exact same time.
I loosened it before.
Watch your eyes.
I don't need a towel. I've got this.
There's a flavor difference, you say?
It was the first night I took it.
It's huge. We're at that level.
We trim them before we put them in. It's just common courtesy.
Yeah, it's just nice.
Every single week, I am in awe that you still want to do this with me, and I'm very grateful before and after.
Which everyone should say to their partner all the time. I think it can't be less than 2 minutes after you start.
That shit was exactly 3 minutes, and I'm real proud of it.
I do it once every 2 or 3 years. Wah, wah.
He came and saved her in the end.
It was just a nice, soft, supple hand. What the fuck are we talking about?
It's a really
I
fucking
think we were
good
talking
question.
about Thing.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
gonna get that.
Yeah.
It's like a full body experience.
When you got there, we were ready.
Do it in the shower.
Only did it once. Kind of an interesting experience.
I sweat. I was almost done. I swear I was almost done.
I think it's I swear.
I swear I was almost done.
And I swear.
I
By
was
the moon and the
almost
stars in the
done.
sky. I'll
I am
be
giving that.
there. I'll be there.
For better or worse,
Better or worse.
never do us part.
Oh,
I'll love you with every
Every
supple
beat
soft
of
hand in
my
my heart.
I swear.
I am giving Matt so much.
That was good.
Oh, that was a really fucking good batch, but I guess
It was like
for
3 weeks worth.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was gonna say, coming from an episode where there was literally a character that was a hand, it feels fitting
Yeah.
that a lot of good material would come from that.
Oh my goodness.
Here, here.
Here, here. Well, thank you all for joining us on this journey tonight. We appreciate it. Enjoy our almost unedited episode.
So close. So close.
So close. So close. Thank you, though. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week on Tuesday for our regularly scheduled program. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level, and that be Eckhart, Wigner, Maggie the Magnificent, and Joanne with a Plan. We'd like for the Hangout level patrons next week. And we will have a bonus show out for the bonus level patrons, so stay tuned for that. Survivor JJC is back. We will be recording live on Sunday, March 5th. We had a bit of a crazy schedule with work and parents in town and blah, 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 blah. Everybody had something last night that we were like, let's just get through this weekend and record on Monday. And yes, that was my best Natasha Leone because I've been watching a lot of Poker Face.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really fun show. Really great show, actually. She calls in every single favor, and there's fucking cameos and people like big movie stars who are just like in this show for an episode. It's great. It's really fun. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, forget where I was, but the gist is be a patron. We'll see you next week. I don't think I had anything else. Watch your Now and Then and your Stand By Me. Send us the feedback. And if you have any other feedback, thebroadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call 331-276-2373. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks all for playing. Anybody else have anything?
Nope.
All right. Well, then, on that note, my name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody. Happy March.
Happy March.
Happy March.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.